Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at how to build wealth as a young person. So no matter wherever you are in the world, whether you're in your 20s or your 30s, or you just consider yourself as a young person and you're looking to build wealth, I've got some very important information in this video that would help you on your journey. So if you are new to the channel or you just discovered this video, I like to go straight to the point. I like to just give information as it is. And so if you discovered this video by any chance and you haven't subscribed already, do make sure to subscribe, do make sure to like this video, and also share it with anybody that you feel is going to find value with it. So I've got some tips here and I'm going to start going over them one after the other. So the first tip I want to talk about is that if you are a young person, the number one advantage that you have right now is that you have the ability to take more risk. So if you don't have a family, you have kids to cater for, there's a lot of things that comes with having like a family, being in a marriage and all that. And so if you aren't at that stage yet, what you have right now is the capacity to take more risk, because you're not, let's say for example, you're not playing with a very huge amount of money, like say 100 million and above. And so you really don't have much to lose if you decide to do anything that you want to do right now. And honestly, this is the best time in your life. If you're looking to either start a business, if you're looking to just do anything, this is the best time for you. So I'm going to tell you that the first step is to actually be able to take more risks now you are young, because a time is going to come in your life when you would not be able to take that risk as you are able to do right now. The second thing I'm going to talk about is you need to find a mentor. Now, when I talk about finding a mentor when it concerns wealth, I'm not talking about finding a coach that's going to charge you some very expensive sum or just paying for one very expensive mentoring session. No. In fact, if you are looking to spend money to build wealth, I'm going to give some more tips that would help you in that process. But what I'm talking about when I'm talking about finding a mentor is basically finding someone who can guide you, someone who can show you steps, someone who can be there to just, tell you things that you need to do and make sure that you're going along the right path. This doesn't mean that you have to look for a course, a very expensive mentoring or all that kind of stuff, because honestly, you really do not need it if what you're looking for is to build wealth. There are people that you can learn from. Now, there are ways to go about finding a mentor, because I see a lot of people actually do this wrong. Even people that reach out to me in my inbox saying I should mentor them. That's the wrong way to go about it, because once you just tell someone, oh, please, I need you to mentor me, you basically just put them in this very confused state, like they do not even know what to tell you. So don't go about begging people or pleading that they should make you their mentors. And what you should do instead is to start learning from them, whether directly or indirectly. If you see that they have programs and you want to take it, you can go ahead and get it, or you can simply just watch what they do and learn from them, or reach out to them, tell them that you want to work for them for free, or just ask them for advice and then take whatever they tell you and go and work on it. That is the easiest way to get a mentor. I have a bunch of people that are my mentors indirectly and even directly, and not for one single day have I gone just begging them to mentor me. Instead, I just go to them with problems, with things that I'm working on, and they give me solutions and I implement and I go back to report to them. That is a good way for you to start getting a mentorship from different people, and over time those people are going to open up more to you. They're going to accept you into their community and you're going to grow more from there. The next thing I'm going to say is that as a young person, you need to start investing early. Now, a lot of people talk about investing, right? You've heard about investing so many places. But the thing is, as a young person right now, if you don't have a lot of money, the problem I see with investing is that because you are looking at a very huge sum, right? You're just looking at, the money that you're getting from that investment doesn't really make a lot of sense initially. And, that stops you from wanting to invest money. But that should not be the case. The reason why you are investing early is because it's training your investment muscles, right? That saving muscle, that saving habit, that investing habit, you are going to build it gradually with whatever amounts that you have. Because I know a lot of people, let's say, for example, they have, let's say 100,000, and then they look at it, okay, even if they are getting a 10% return in a year, at a 10% return on 100,000 is just 10,000. And then they just think about it, oh, like, why would I, invest 100,000 over a year to just make 10,000, something I can just make like this. But that's the wrong way to look at it, because you're just looking at it because you have a little amount of money right now. What happens when you have $1 million naira? What happens when you have 10 million, 100 million? That interest still at that 10% is going to yield a lot more. So that is why you really need to invest early. You need to start investing early, no matter what the returns look like. Forget about all that right now, okay? You need to focus on actually developing that muscle so that whenever the big money comes, you are going to have that habit already built in, and then you would not just go about spending that money. Because trust me, if you are doing work, if you are getting paid, honestly, money is going to start coming. And if you have not developed that habit of saving money or of investing, the only thing you're going to do when that money comes is to blow it, because money always comes with the things that will consume it. If you are not prepared for when money comes, once the money comes, the things that will spend it, the things that will blow that money will follow it and come, and the money will just go away. So start getting into the habit of investing, start getting into the habit of saving money, and it's really going to help you with building wealth. The next point will be to get more education, and that simply means, getting more skills. Because when I say education, I do not mean that you need to go back to school or start getting a master's or a PhD if that is not what you want to do, if you're not in a position to get that, or even if you don't have the finances to do that right now. I'm not saying you should do all that. But what I mean is that you should never stop learning. Right now, there are lots of free courses, lots of free resources available online. Many schools, they have different courses that you can take with no extra fee attached, and you can even start learning something that is totally different from the field that you're operating in, right? You can learn things like data science, you can learn about AI. These different things, which are going to be the skills of the new digital age, are skills that if you learn them now, they are going to be so valuable for you in the future. So that spare time that you have, that you are using to binge on Netflix, you're using to watch different web series and all that, take out some time from that and learn something new, something that is really going to help you. Learning a skill is one of the best ways to build wealth, because with that skill, you can make more money. And then when you make more money, it's easier for you to have something to invest. So you really need to start looking at different skills to learn. Don't say, okay, all I'm doing right now is just making money. No, just take out some time. Or like I said, you already have excess time that you're spending on watching films or doing other things that you're not supposed to be doing with your time. So take some portion of that time and learn a new skill. Get more education, because it's really going to help you. Never stop learning, because learning is one of the many ways to build wealth as a young person. The next point, and this one is a bit controversial, is as a young person, you really don't need to get a car, because cars, they take a lot of money from you. And I know most people are not going to agree with this. Most people are going to start saying, oh, a car is an investment. Oh, why, I need the car for all this. But if 2020 has shown us anything, is that everything is happening in the virtual space right now. And so there are many things that even me myself, I thought that, okay, if I have a car, it's going to be easy for me to get an investment or to get people to work with me and all that. While that is true in a sense, it's not totally true when you look at it in the long term perspective, because I realized that even most of the jobs that I thought I couldn't get without having a car, I was still able to get them, and I do all of them all from the comfort of my home. So except you really need to have a car, except you are doing something that totally demands that you have a car, and except it's not just for a selfish reason, like, just having a car to carry out girls, don't deceive yourself, right? You know what your condition is. That money that you're about to use and get a car right now, ask yourself, do you really need it at this age, or can that car wait for a year or 2 years? If you ask yourself and you look at it and you say, okay, this car can actually wait, because this money, if I invest it now, I can, use that return on it to do something. If you have done the calculation and it makes sense for you to have a car, then you can go ahead and get it. But if you don't really need it, if you're just doing it to show off to your boys and your girls that you are a big boy or that you have arrived, that is like the wrongest thing to do with that amount of money, because getting a car is actually a huge investment, right? So you want to be very careful and make sure you've done all your analysis, especially if you're someone that really doesn't need to be up and about every time, right? Like me, for example, I have very few places that I would have to go to with a car. And so I'm even happier when, people see me and I don't have a car, but I know in my mind that the amount I have in my bank account is enough to buy me a car over and over again. It's much better for me that way. And then whenever I decide to now get a car, I'm not going to be doing it and pinching out of my savings. I'm going to be doing it from the money I've gotten from my investment. So I think that is just a better way to look at it. You can totally survive without having a car. But like I said, if you need to have a car, if whatever you're doing demands that you have to get a car, then go ahead and do it. But my advice for you, if you're doing it just for showing off purposes, is please do not do that. keep that money and use it for something else. Now, I've already touched on this earlier, but then you need to actually get a side hustle, because if you are going to be making investments and if you want your investment to start making sense, you need money to start coming in. And except you have a 9-to-5 job, or you are just doing something else like maybe freelancing, which is still a side hustle, you are still going to need a side hustle to add more money into that investment. The joy of having a side hustle is that you have more money, and then when you have more money and you're putting it into your investments start to make sense for you. So let's say, for example, you were saving 100,000 before. If you increase that 100,000 and let's say you were getting a 10% return on 100,000, which is 10,000. If you increase that 100,000 to 1 million, suddenly your 10% interest becomes 100,000, right? So you just see it makes a lot of sense right now, and then you'll be more motivated to keep on investing your money. So that is why starting a side hustle is very, very important. There are lots of side hustles. I talked about a few of them on my channel, which you can check out, but having a side hustle is really going to help you make money and use to build wealth for yourself in the future. Now, the next point is something I should have put at the top of this list, but I'm still going to say it here, and that is you need to audit your friend group. Listen, guys, one of the most important things that can either make or break you as a young person is the kind of friends that you keep. And I'm not just talking about your offline friends, I'm talking about the kind of friends that you also keep online. If you're following people that do not motivate you, if you're following people that, all they do is party, drink, and smoke, at a young age, that's like one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a human being. Even if you have the option, cut away all those friends that are going to draw you down. Cut away friends that do not talk about investment, that do not, bring up ideas that are going to help you. If all your friends do is just to sit around, drink and smoke, nobody is talking about, the future, nobody's talking about investments, nobody's talking about, starting a business, about moving to a better job. If you have friends that, they are just there to just lounge about, be very careful about what you share with them. Be very careful about how they are impacting you, because you may not even realize it, but then by the time you realize it, it's already too late and the damage has been done. So get into communities where people are talking about investments. Listen, you have a very huge time ahead of you. So you want to make sure that you use all the time that you have judiciously. And the best way to start with that is by auditing your friends' circle. Keep a very small circle, keep a very good and clean circle. And even if your friends are the social type, make sure that they are also there whenever you need them for, financial advice, for monetary advice, investment advice. If your friends do not talk all those kind of talks around you and all they want to do is talk about girls and having fun, please, it's time to audit those friends out of your life. And then my final tip, which is also going to be a bit controversial, is that you should stay single as a young person and focus on yourself. Now, even if you don't want to stay single, because I know some people are going to come for me right now and start saying, oh, but my girlfriend is very good or my boyfriend is very good. If you're not going to stay single and focus on yourself, make sure that you get together with a boy or a girl that shares the same dreams, aspirations, and ambitions with you, or at least somebody that understands your own dreams and ambitions. As a young person, one of the other things that you can do that will strongly limit you or slow down your progress in life is being together with somebody who do not understand you. And I know this is a trap, especially for most young guys. Most girls would look to marriage as a source of income or a source of livelihood for themselves. But as a guy, you don't have that luxury. You don't have that luxury. And another thing that happens with young guys is that instead of you going for a girl that you can grow with or a partner that you can move ahead with, you are simply going after the ones that like flashy stuff, the ones that are always looking for expensive things to buy. Please and please, if you're looking to build wealth, be very careful about the partners that you are choosing. If possible, just stay single and focus on growing yourself for a while. But if you can't do that, make sure that you stick with someone who understands you, someone who shares the same goals with you, someone who wants to see you succeed, and someone who is who just understands you, right? Someone who just understands you is going to make a lot of sense for your financial future. So these are the tips I have for you. Do you like anyone that I shared for you? If you feel like I missed out on anyone, let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video or you have young ones who are going to learn from it, do make sure to share this video with them, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you get notified once I make a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.